Okay, let's unpack this. So imagine you have a product. It's good. You know it works. But every time you try to sell it, you feel like you're just begging. You're looking at your competitors. You're lowering your price.
You're in that race to the bottom.
Exactly. But then, what if you could just flip a switch? You change the framework so drastically that people don't just want to buy from you. They'd feel genuinely stupid saying no.
And that is the absolute core of Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Offers.
It is. And today, we're doing a deep dive not just into, marketing tactics, but really into the psychology of value,
Yeah.
of pricing, and how you stop competing and just start dominating.
Right. And what's so fascinating is that Hormozi isn't talking about being like slightly better than the other guy.
No.
He's talking about creating what he calls a grand slam offer. Something so unique, it basically puts you in a category of one.
And before we get into the how,
Yeah.
I think we have to establish the stakes. Because it's easy to hear $100 million and think, this guy must have started with a silver spoon.
Oh, not at all. The origin story is, well, it's gritty.
It really is.
It's the definition of rock bottom. We're talking Christmas Eve, 2016.
Yeah, paint the picture for us. He's not exactly on a yacht.
No, not even close. He's sitting on the floor of a room in his parents' house. The floor is covered in, dried soda and stale popcorn.
Ugh.
His bank account has been completely drained by a business partner who took all the cash, and he owes a salesman $22,000 that he just doesn't have.
And the kicker. He checks his account and has exactly $1,036 left.
So he is effectively negative 21 grand.
A financial death sentence.
Right. But, and this is why we're here today, he didn't give up. He didn't declare bankruptcy. He realized he'd just been playing the wrong game.
And he shifted his focus away from just selling a service and towards creating this grand slam offer.
And that shift is what took him from that popcorn-covered floor to generating millions in not just revenue, profit in a really short amount of time.
So let's get into that first trap he identified, the commodity problem.
This is where most businesses just die. A commodity is something you can get from anywhere. Think of a bag of rice. If I'm selling rice and you're selling rice, and they look identical, how does the customer choose?
They look at the price. Whoever's cheaper wins.
Correct. And that is the race to the bottom. Hormozi has this brutal line. He says, if you are the second cheapest product in the market, you are just the first loser.
Ouch. That stings. But it's true, isn't it? If you're not the cheapest and you're not the best, you're just invisible.
You are. So the solution is the grand slam offer. He uses this baseball metaphor.
Right.
In baseball, you swing, you connect, the most runs you can possibly score is 4, a grand slam. But in business, the outcomes aren't capped like that.
Right. Yeah, you can't score 1,000 runs in one swing in a game.
But in business, a single grand slam offer can give you, 1,000 times the return. And here's the key insight. It takes the same amount of effort to promote a terrible offer as it does to promote a great one. You're doing the work anyway. The difference is all in how you build the offer itself.
Okay, so let's talk about building this thing. Because one of the first levers he says to pull is pricing. And this is where I have to push back a little, because his advice is charge more.
Yes. The virtuous cycle of price.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate here. If I'm that guy sitting on the floor with $1,000, the idea of raising my prices sounds like suicide. I'm thinking, I need clients now. Why not just scare everyone away?
You might scare away the bargain hunters, but Hormozi argues that's actually a good thing.
How so?
See, most people try to undercut their competitors to get volume. But when you do that, your margins just, they vanish.
Meaning you have no money left over to actually improve the business.
Exactly. But if you charge a premium, 2 things happen. First, the buyer psychology changes. A client who pays more is more emotionally invested. They actually listen. They do the work.
You mentioned that wine study, right? This one always blows my mind.
Yes, the blind taste test. So researchers gave people 2 glasses of wine. They told them one cost $10 and the other cost $90. And people consistently rated the expensive wine as tasting better.
But it was the same wine.
The exact same liquid. The price tag literally changed their sensory perception of the value.
So by charging more, you're actually making the product taste better to the client.
Precisely. But there's a second piece to this, the operational side. If I charge $10,000 for a service and you charge $1,000, I have a massive margin. I can take $2,000 of that and reinvest it into making the customer experience insane.
So you can hire better support, send them gifts, buy better software.
Yes. Your product actually becomes better because you charged more.
While the guy charging 1,000 is just scraping by, can't afford to fix problems, and his clients get a worse result.
And that's the race to the bottom. We want that virtuous upward spiral.
Okay, so we're charging premium prices,
Okay.
but you can't just slap a big price tag on a bad product. That's just a scam. You have to create the value first.
Right. And this is where the book gets a little technical, but incredibly useful. Hormozi doesn't treat value as some fuzzy feeling.
No, he treats it as a math problem. The value equation.
The value equation.
I love a good formula. Lay it on us.
Okay, so picture a fraction. On the top, the numerator, the stuff we want to maximize, you have two things. The dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of achievement.
Okay, dream outcome.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to lose 20 pounds. Or I want to make $1 million.
Right. And perceived likelihood is just, do I believe you can actually get me there? You know, a surgeon with 10,000 successful operations has a high likelihood. A first-year med student, low.
So you want both of those to be huge. Big dream, high chance of success.
Exactly.
Okay, what's on the bottom of the fraction, the stuff we want to get rid of?
The denominator is time delay and effort and sacrifice.
Time delay. So how long do I have to wait to get the result?
Yes, and effort and sacrifice is how hard I have to work. And because these are on the bottom of the fraction, if you can drive them down towards zero, the value of your offer goes toward infinity.
This brings us to his golden example, which I think perfectly explains the entire health industry.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Meditation versus Xanax.
Yeah, it's a perfect comparison. Think about it. What's the dream outcome for both?
Relaxation, less anxiety, peace of mind. It's the same outcome.
Exactly. But now let's look at the bottom of the equation. Meditation. High effort. You have to sit there, quiet your mind, practice every day.
Long time delay, too.
Yeah.
It takes weeks, months to get good at it. The cost and effort and time is huge.
Now look at Xanax. Effort, zero. You swallow a pill, time delay, maybe 15 minutes.
And that is why the pharmaceutical industry is so massive compared to, say, the meditation app industry.
Precisely. Even if meditation is better for you long term, the perceived value of the pill is way higher because it's fast and easy. His point isn't that we should sell drugs.
Right.
It's that we need to engineer our services to feel like Xanax, even if they do require hard work.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. So if you're a gym owner, you don't just say, come work out. You have to find ways to make it feel more instant, more effortless.
Or at least perceive it that way. You have to reduce the friction. Fast beats free, as he says.
Okay, so how do we actually build this? We know we need to lower the effort and time. Hormozi has this process, trim and stack. But it starts with something he calls the brick exercise.
This is all about divergent thinking. If I asked you to name uses for a brick, most people just say build a wall.
Sure.
But if you really push yourself, you can say paperweight, doorstop, weapon, a nutcracker.
Like your yoga block.
Right. You have to apply that same kind of granular thinking to your customers' problems. So, step 1, identify the dream outcome. Step 2, list every single obstacle they face.
Okay, let's actually do this. Let's say I'm selling a weight loss program. Dream outcome, lose 20 pounds. What are the obstacles?
Well, list them. Why do people fail?
Okay, I don't know what to buy at the grocery store. I hate cooking. I travel for work, so I can't get to a gym. My kids want pizza every night.
Exactly. Most businesses stop at, here's a workout plan. But that only solves one tiny problem. The Grand Slam approach is to take every single obstacle on that list and turn it into a solution.
So grocery shopping is confusing. Becomes what? It becomes a done-for-you Instacart shopping list. You click one button, the food shows up.
That hits the Xanax button. Low effort.
I hate cooking. Becomes a 5-minute meal prep guide. I travel for work. Becomes a hotel room workout PDF. You turn every excuse into a tangible deliverable.
And this is where the stack comes in, because you're not just selling a gym membership anymore, you're selling a whole bundle.
Correct. You stack all these high-value, low-cost items, digital templates, grocery lists, old workshop recordings. These cost you nothing to duplicate, but they have huge value to the client because they solve a real pain point.
So the offer goes from like gym membership for $100 to the 6-week transformation challenge, plus meal plans, plus grocery lists, plus an accountability coach, plus a travel guide. And suddenly, you can't compare that to the gym down the street. You're in a category of one. You've decommoditized your business.
I love that. But here's where it gets really fun. We have the product, it's stacked with value. Now we have to sell it. And Hormozi talks about these. Psychological enhancers.
These are the levers you pull to make people take action now. It's all about scarcity and urgency.
And I feel like people use those terms interchangeably, but he makes a very clear distinction.
Very clear. Scarcity is about quantity. Urgency is about time.
Okay, let's break that down. Scarcity first.
Scarcity is, we only have 3 spots left. Or, we only made 100 of these.
He brings up the Chanel strategy. Apparently, Chanel will only send 1 or 2 of a specific handbag to each store.
So even if they have a warehouse full of them,
Yeah.
the customer in the store only sees 1.
And that triggers that fear of missing out. If I don't buy this now, it's gone. You want demand to always feel like it's exceeding supply.
I mean, you have to be honest, right? You can't just fake it. Right. He calls it honest scarcity. If you're a consultant, you literally have a cap on how many clients you can take. So just say it. I am at 81% capacity. It sounds real because it's specific.
And urgency is different. Urgency is about the clock ticking.
Yes. Urgency is this offer ends on Friday. Deadlines drive decisions. Hormozi suggests using rolling cohorts. So even if you can take clients anytime, you say, the next group starts on Monday.
That little nudge starts Monday is enough to get someone off the fence.
And then there are bonuses. This is the infomercial effect.
But wait, there's more.
It sounds cheesy, but it works because of price anchoring. You establish the core price, and then you just pile on value. You get the steak knives, Andy, the Pam. You never discount the core price. You add bonuses to increase the value.
So instead of saying, I'll give you 20% off, you say, the price is the same, but I'll throw in this $500 workshop for free.
Exactly. It saves your margin and feels like a much better deal to the customer.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. Risk. Everyone is afraid of buying something and then looking stupid. How do we fix that?
Guarantees. Hormozi says the guarantee is the single biggest thing that kills objections, and you have to be bold.
He mentions the anti-lazy guarantee.
That's a conditional guarantee. It's like, if you do the work, you show up, you track your food, and you still don't get results, I will pay you double your money back.
Whoa. Double your money. That's confident.
It is. It completely reverses the risk. It says, I am so sure this works that I'm betting on myself. It removes that fear of this won't work for me.
And then there's the Club of Baby Seal guarantee, which, I mean, that's a memorable name.
It is certainly provocative, but the idea is if you wouldn't club a baby seal to stay on as our customer after 30 days, you don't have to pay.
It's dark humor, but it makes a point. It implies the product is so good you'd do anything to keep it.
But then, surprisingly, he also talks about the anti-guarantee.
All sales final?
Yes, which seems like the total opposite of what we just said.
Yeah.
But it's a power move. You use this for high-level exclusive access. It implies this is so valuable, the secrets are so proprietary that once you see it, you can't unsee it. So no refunds. It screams exclusivity.
It's basically saying if you need a guarantee, you're not ready for this.
Precisely. It filters for only the most serious clients.
So we've built the offer, stacked the value, added the scarcity and urgency. Now we have to name the thing. And of course, Hormozi has a formula for this too, MAGIC.
Magic. It's a checklist for a headline that actually converts. M is for magnet, the hook.
Okay.
A is for avatar, who is this for? G is for goal, the dream outcome. A is for interval, how long will it take? And C is for container. Is it a challenge, a blueprint, a system?
So is it a personal training package, which is so boring?
You get the free 6-week Lean Mommy Makeover Challenge.
Okay, let's break that down. Magnet, free, interval, 6-week, goal, lean, avatar, mommy, container, challenge.
It tells you exactly what it is, who it's for, and what you get. It's specific, and specificity sells. Get fit is weak. Add 20 pounds to your bench press in 20 days, that's strong.
I want to circle back to the end of Hormozi's personal story. Because all of this, the math, the psychology, the tactics, it all led to a very specific moment for him. Hitting $100,000 in the bank. Not revenue, profit.
It's a really powerful moment in the book. He's with his wife, Layla. They're just staring at the banking app. And he said the feeling wasn't happiness. It was relief.
From fear to security.
That's the first $100 K moment. It's the realization that you have a skill. And Hormozi argues entrepreneurship isn't about being smarter or working harder. It's about acquiring skills. And the ability to build a Grand Slam offer is a skill that lets you detach your time from your money.
It lets you stop competing on price and start getting rewarded for the value you create.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway. The world rewards value. If you can articulate that value clearly, remove all the obstacles, and reverse the risk, people won't just buy from you. They'll thank you for it.
So here's a provocative thought to leave you with. We talked about the value equation. Dream outcome divided by time and effort.
Right.
If you could reduce the time delay to zero and the effort to zero, the value becomes literally infinite. Think about the Matrix, plugging a cord into your head and instantly knowing Kung Fu.
That is the holy grail.
So look at your own offer. How close can you get to that Matrix moment? How close can you get to your customer clicking a button and instantly getting the result? The closer you get to that, the more you can charge, and the more people will feel stupid saying no.
That's the challenge. Stop selling the plane ticket. Start selling the arrival at the destination.
Thanks for diving in with us. Now go build your Grand Slam offer.
See you next time.